I'll start from the top. Our 18-year-old team ended up with a record of 32-8. I definitely had a group of kids that have been with me for several years, and that definitely helps with the continuity of the team. And out of that group, we had 10 college commitments. We had one Division I commitment, 3 junior college commitments, several NAIAs and Division IIs mixed in there, So those kids that have spent time and been loyal to the program, very easy for them to transition to the next level. That's obviously our goal as a program, is to prepare kids how to play the game. So when they get to that level, it's a low maintenance player, So we had 4 teams earn a berth into the World Series, through winning a tournament or coming in the top 1 or 2 or 3 in that respective tournament, Our highest finish in the World Series was 6th place, which is good for our area, because we don't have a larger demographic like the other teams that we face, you know what I mean? So as long as we can represent ourselves in the World Series, we're really excited. So wins and losses for us at the ages 13 and under, very, very irrelevant to their success when they're 16, 17, and 18, So we're trying to prepare them how to play the game the right way, not necessarily win every game. So from the top to the bottom, very successful season for our program. A lot of positive feedback, and it was a good year. We're looking forward to 2016. And 3 of the 8 were Hitter's Edge teams. We had our 17s, our 18s, and our 16U team in the tournament. The most gratifying part for me is that all 3 teams advanced to the finals. The competition was great. We had 2 teams from Grand Blanc. We had a team from South Bend. We had a team from Kalamazoo. And we had a team from Northwest Ohio called the FCA Tigers. So it was very, very, very successful for our program to have our 16U playing the last 16U game of the weekend, and our 17s and 18s actually playing in the championship. So for me, as the owner of the organization, it's a win-win. It doesn't matter which team wins in that final game. We were just happy that all 3 teams walked away with a piece of hardware. Well, we've adapted over the last several years and gotten to a more of an analytical approach. We have a hit track system now, which allows us to grade the player's exit velocity. We get a full live spray chart, strike zone analysis, trend analysis. We can get even in depth as far as launch angle to exit velocity, which is something that a lot of the pros are using now. I mean, if you watch things like MLB Network, they're telling you how hard that ball is hit off of the bat. So what we can do when a kid initially signs up for training is we give them what we call it as a bar assessment report. And in the bar report, what we do is we gauge them from day one. So it'll be a 20-minute session where we just show them live pitching. And if say the kid has an average launch angle of 4 degrees and an average exit velocity of say 60 miles an hour, what we do over the next 4 weeks is we work on increasing that launch angle, which in change means they're matching the plane of the pitch longer, therefore more success on keeping their barrel in the hitting zone, which means more line drives. And as far as creating more exit velocity for the player, we teach them how to lead with their hips, create torque, and kind of work that kinetic chain from the ground up, and that kinetic energy, and that's how hitting is taught. The legs move the shoulders move the hands, So a raw player who comes in to our program, doesn't understand that part of hitting, So it's good that they come in there and they hit some ground balls, and then we give them a 4-week program where we really break them down and attack their weaknesses. Then after week 4, we do another assessment report or a hit tracks analytics report, and we can see the trends. Okay, is their exit velocity up? Is their hard hit average up? Is their slugging up? What's their percentage of line drives? Which is a big competition we have going in our facility right now. The kid who holds the record is Josh Turnock. He plays for EIU right now, Eastern Illinois University. He's been a student of mine for 4 years. 65% line drives over 130 pitch live bullpen session. That is the record. We have 5 or 6 kids between that 65 to 58 line drive percentage. So it's really cool because we hang them up on the board and kids come in and it's something that they kind of marvel at. If a 13-year-old wants to try to beat a college kid, he's got to make sure he gets good pitches to hit, puts the right swing on the pitch. And another part of the analytics that we are able to offer with the program that we offer is a full strike zone analysis as well. So we can find out what his average exit velocity is on the inner third of the plate opposed to what it is on the outer third. We can figure out what his hard hit average is on all 9 contact points. So we're really trying to teach kids how to have 9 different swings for 9 different pitches. you know, the game's not played where they throw the ball in the same spot every time, you know, so we need to teach these kids how to adjust to a low and in ball, high and outside ball, you know, up and in, low and away, you know, so you're teaching them all different swings that it takes to, you know, hit for a high average. And, you know, what we spawn off of the analytics when we get to that point where we feel that their swing is improved and we're comfortable with the progression that they're making over their 4-week sessions, you know, so we'll do a hit track session week 1, week 5, week 9, you know, then we really work on their mental approach as a hitter. You know, what pitches should you be looking for in certain counts? What's a hitter's count opposed to what is a pitcher's count? You know, when do you need to cut down on your swing and try to put the ball in play? When do you need to try to hit that ball in the left center or right center gap? You know, so once we teach the student, you know, and these are for younger kids as well, you know, the initial absolutes of hitting for what I expect out of them and what pro hitters do, and if we can get them to match the envelope of a pro, then we can start to touch base on the mental approach of hitting, you know, the finer part of the game, which means have a plan when you get to the plate. You know what the pitcher's throwing for strikes prior to when you get up to your at bat. You know, so that's one of the things that as a player progresses, especially as at our older level and kids getting prepared to play in college, the approach gives you a fair advantage with the pitcher who always has the advantage because he's throwing the ball and you have to try to square it up.